Good morning, nation. John here. Thank you very much to Alan and Loretta for this morning's Mean Bean. I truly appreciate the support. Let me know. Do you guys like the new intro? The folks on Patreon saw that intro yesterday. They got it a day early and they gave me some feedback on it. I thought it was pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? But let me know in the comments. And another thing before we get started, the reason that these videos are premiering now is not to be like cheesy or cheap or anything, folks. It's because when the videos hit in the morning, I thought it would be cool if you guys could chat with each other rather than just watch a video. For those of you who want to, you don't have to, of course. So, yesterday was a rant on the election, politics in this country, liberalism, extreme liberalism. So today I thought, well, rather than ranting, let's talk about the last hope that this country has, okay? And so what I've done is I've put together a plan of action on an actual notebook, not a sandwich bag, because I made a Walmart run solo, did not have the fam with me. I just ran through Walmart yesterday afternoon, scooped up what I needed, including notebooks. So isn't that fancy? What I've done is I've vetted, guys, in case you're in a city and you're considering moving out of, you know, the liberal utopia or whatever. Maybe you're in Portland or you're in downtown Seattle and you just want out. I've actually went through online and I've vetted 5 places. These are larger conservative towns. These are smaller conservative cities. There are things to do. The crime is low. These places have Republican leadership. They have conservative sheriffs. These are no-nonsense places. Just in case, again, you're considering a move. So I'm going to go down the list here. Lafayette, Louisiana. All right, and you folks are more than welcome to look these up on your own and check them out. Tyler, Texas, Chattanooga, Tennessee, Bluefield, West Virginia, and London, Kentucky. Again, all 5 of these places are places that you would want to be if you're a red-blooded American conservative patriot. All right, so take that however you'd like to. But at the end of the day, folks, as other channels call them, and I'm going to use the term, I didn't coin it, obviously, but these reptilian let me do it in a gruff voice. Let me pull this down like some of the creators do. The reptilian overlords. Does that make me sound tough? All right. These reptilian overlords, these politicians who are extreme left, who want to upend the country, basically, they understand 2 things: money and power. Right? So the power, again, I was ranting on that yesterday, folks. The power is via the election, and they are railroading President Trump, or they're attempting to. We all know it. For those of you, let me just speak on this for a second. There are several of you who leave the comment that the elections are an illusion. There's no actual choice. They're being selected and not elected. I continue to hear this. What I would like for you to do then, if you're going to leave that comment, is offer a solution with it. Please, humorous. Okay, because you may be right. I'm not here to dispute it. I'm just saying, if that's the case, what are we supposed to lay down and take it? Or are we supposed to at least try? I would like to at least try. That's just my opinion. So these overlords, if you will, these corrupt politicians, and look, they're on both sides of the aisle, but the ones that are on the right wing in this country, you know, they're power hungry, they're money hungry, but they want to keep the republic as is. Whereas the left, the corrupt politicians, they want the power, they want the money, and they want us to become, you know, a communist state. My opinion. So they understand power, and we've been over power. We talked about that yesterday. So let's talk about money. Because If we cannot beat them through a fair election, and we cannot keep our country intact through a fair and due process election, then we must get them on the other end. We must attack them from the money aspect. Now, a lot of you are like, I'm going to grab my boomstick and go. It's time to boomstick up. That's not what you want to do. All right. Number one, I advocate for violence. Never. This channel is 100% peaceful. That's not the way to do things. What happens is, if you do that, you are then labeled as an extremist, and it just plays to their advantage. Mainstream media is all over it. It just paints conservatives in a very bad light. You hurt these people through money because they understand money, right? You make them pay in that way. Banks, if you are in a liberal city or a liberal community and you have money in the bank, pull it out. Pull it out. Buy a safe, pull all of your money out. Devastate the banks in your area. They will understand that. I mean, again, this is money. Unfortunately, people put way too much emphasis on it. But it can be weaponized. You understand? A lot of conservatives have money. And by keeping it in a bank in a liberal area, you are helping to enrich that particular area. Pull it out. It is better to have it at home anyway, in my opinion. When the banks realize, well, we just had, $4 million withdrawn today, what are we going to do? Then it clicks. Maybe maybe they will side with you a little more, maybe, just maybe. Homeschool your children or put them in private schools. If you're a Christian, this is going to cost you a little money, okay? Even if you're not a Christian, put them in a private school. They're going to get a much better education, and this is going to help to collapse the liberal fantasy land that has become public education, right? So you're doing your kids a service by putting them in a private school. You are making sure they're getting a decent education, and at the same time you are financially punishing the liberal fantasy land that is around you. Again, just an opinion. You want to be in an area where your local leadership, your state leadership, and especially your local sheriff are conservative. Why? Well, you take a look, for example, we just saw yesterday and the day before, we saw a lot of violence. We saw a lot of this nonsense on the interstate, the shutdown DC nonsense. That does not fly in conservative areas. When you have a conservative sheriff, they don't put up with it. They just start locking people up. I mean, that's how it is dealt with. And personally, I want to live in an area like that. That's why I'm here. These folks understand money or a lack of money. Support conservative businesses. Okay, this is huge, guys. We all like our coffee, right? But I quit drinking Starbucks coffee a long time ago. I quit going into the Starbucks shops a long time ago. This is why I switched to Black Rifle. Is Black Rifle more expensive? A little bit. But they're conservative, and part of that money goes to veterans, to help veterans out. I would much rather give $5 or $10 a pop to a conservative company than I would give $7 or $8 to a liberal company. Again, this is how you hurt these corporations who have just lost their minds. They're punishing you by shoving the PC down your throat day in and day out, by pushing their beliefs on you day in and day out. Punish them with your pocketbooks. Punish them with your wallets. Again, enrich businesses that hold the same values as you do. This is not cancel culture. I'm not saying get on social media and champion the fact that we cancel Starbucks. No, just take your business elsewhere. And rather than canceling a business, reward a conservative business for holding the same values. This stuff works, guys. It truly does. There's strength in numbers. This is why you need to seriously consider relocating to one of the 5 areas that I'm talking about, because these are ruby red conservative strongholds. You're going to be surrounded by like-minded people. You're going to be safe in these 5 communities. They're just not going to tolerate it. From a prepping standpoint, you need to prep for a Great Depression. So in other words, continue to stack food as you can, continue to stack water, continue to stack supplies and goods that you would need for the home. Because if Biden steals the election, we're going to see a Great Depression. I mean, there's just no way around it. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, but it's a guarantee. You can go ahead and go to Las Vegas and bet on that. If Biden gets in office, he's going to lock the country down. We're going to see a second Great Depression, far worse than the first. Because the first Great Depression, people knew how to survive. People knew how to homestead. They had skills like canning and things like that, that our current generations just don't have that skill. So a lot of people are going to starve to death. A lot of people are not going to know what to do. So prep for that. Finally, let me just close with this. All right. Take the power away from these liberal extremists. Okay. Now understand, and this is me being objective, okay? Understand that there are red-blooded Americans who are Democrats out there that truly do want the best for our country. They're not going to agree with everything conservatives agree with, and that's fine. But I'm referring to the people who want to collapse our republic, the extreme left, take their power away. Okay, these morons, there's no other way to put it, and I'm sorry for being so harsh about it, but these idiots are out in the, in the middle of the interstate twerking all over the road with their Kool-Aid colored hair, and they're just, doing whatever, man, LARPing, whatever you want to call it. They have power as long as there are conservatives in that area that are suffering. If you relocate, and I understand you have jobs, but at some point you've got to make a decision, okay? Are you going to continue to endure it? Or are you going to go ahead and make a life change that's going to improve your situation? If there are no conservatives around, then their power's gone. Then they're just a bunch of idiots out in the street doing whatever in a city that nobody really wants to be in, right? It becomes another Chaz and Chop. If we as conservatives kind of group together in conservative areas, then the extreme left, they have no power. They have no money. This is how you defeat this ideology. You move. You leave them to their own devices. And who knows, Portland may start hanging up signs for things they need, like old Chaz and Chop used to do. Remember that? Cigarettes and lighters and good hairstyling gel, whatever. Leave it. Leave them to their own devices. Leave them in their own, as I say, dirty diaper. And just let them sit. Who knows? Maybe it'll wake them up. Maybe they'll starve to death during the Depression. They brought it on themselves, if that's the case. Anyway, folks, Shotgun Saturday night, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then Super Tuesday will be debuting this coming up Tuesday, same time, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Cannot wait to see you folks there. Please take a second to like and subscribe if you have not done so already. This is John with Prepper Nation. I hope that you guys just take deep breaths and have a blessed rest of the day.